girls, this is Wager Detective here. We're going to cap this game, Yankees-Rays. Today is July 6th, 2026, and this is Wager Detective. Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, leave comments everywhere. Let's get into this cap. I'm going to try to keep it brief, to the point with this one. Yankees minus 106, the Rays coming back at minus 110. The over-under is set at 8.5 at minus 106 to the over, minus 114 to the under. Now, if we look at the Yankees, they are 6-4 in their last 10 versus Tampa Bay. Their last 10 versus Tampa Bay overall, they've scored 5+ 5 times, and the Rays have scored 5+ 4 times. The Yankees have only scored 2 or less twice in the last 10 meetings against the Rays. The Rays have scored 2 or less only once in that time. If we look at the Yankees at Tampa Bay, they are 5-4 in their last 9 at Tampa Bay. They're scoring 5.44 runs a game to 3.88 for the Rays. Comes out to a plus 1.55 between their wins and losses in those games. Their last 9 at Tampa Bay, they have scored 5+ 4 times, and they've only scored 2 or less one time in their last 9 games at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has scored 5+ in the last 9 at home against the Yankees, and they scored 2 or less only twice in their last 9 at home versus the Yankees. If we look at the Yankees road night games this year, they are 18-13, but they're plus 46 in the run differential department there. In their 31 road night games this year, they've scored 5+ 11 times, and their opponents have scored 5+ 11 times. In their 31 road night games this year, the Yankees have scored 2 or less 4 times. They're scoring 4.71 runs per game in their 31 road night games this year, and their opponents have scored 3.23 runs per game. In those 31 road night games for the Yankees, they've gone over 11 times and under 20 times. The Yankees not playing good in their last 9 games. They are 1-8, 4 over, 5 under. They're only scoring 2.66 runs per game over their last 9 games. Their opponents are scoring 6.22 runs per game. They're being outscored 26-56 in their last 9 games. They've only scored 5+, the Yankees, one time in their last 9 games, and their opponents have scored 5+ 6 times. So Yankees not really scoring runs. Their opponents are in their last 9. But if you look at their overall season average in those 31 night games, they are plus 46 in road night games this year, and 31 road night games, and they've scored 5+ 11 times out of those 31 games. If we look at the Yankees versus their division this year, they are 14-14, but they're plus 24 in the run differential department. In their 28 divisional games this year, 12 over, 16 under. They were swept at Tampa Bay. They swept Toronto. They swept at Boston, and they swept 4 at home versus Baltimore, and they were swept by Boston as well. So they swept Boston, were swept by Boston, and they were swept by Tampa Bay, but they also swept Baltimore at home in a 4-game series. So 14-14 versus the division. They're scoring 4.32 runs per game in those 28 games. They've scored 5+ 10 times out of those 28 divisional games, and their divisional opponents have scored 5+ also 10 times in those 28 divisional games. The Yankees have scored 2 or less 8 times in their 28 division games. Their opponents have scored 2 or less 11 times in their divisional games. Now, this is going to be a home-to-road game, no rest for the Yankees, where they're 2-3 this year, minus 7 run differential. And on the mound, you're going to have Cam Schlittler, as you can see there on the screen. This game is in Tampa Bay. Cam Schlittler in his last 5 outings does have a 2.61 ERA, a 1.96 home runs per 9, and a 1.23 WHIP. He did lose at Tampa Bay this year. The Yankees lost 4-5, 7 innings pitched, gave up 3 earned runs. In Schlittler's last 5 outings, the Yankees are 3-2, plus 3 run differential. On the year, the Yankees are 12-6 when Schlittler starts. He does have a 0.96 WHIP, 2.08 ERA, and his last game was his worst game of the season. He gave up 14 fly balls, which is his season high. That led to 4 home runs, and he was on 4 days rest in that last game. This game, he will be on 5 days rest. So keep that in mind as we cap on this year. On the road this year, the Yankees are 7-3 when Schlittler starts on the road this year, plus 22 run differential there. They are scoring 4.8 runs a game to 2.6 for their opponents. In Schlittler's 10 road games this year, He does have a 0.80 ERA, a 0.76 whip, and that's a pretty solid numbers there if you're looking at this. Some good things for the Yankees there to look at. As we look at the Rays this year, they're 8-2 in their last 10. They're 5-4 in extra inning games, 11-9 in one-run games. They are 17-6 versus the American League East. In home night games this year, the Rays are 17-8, plus 16 run differential. They're scoring 5.24 runs a game to 4.6 for their opponents. And in their 25 home night games this year, where they're 17-8, they have scored 5+ 14 times. Their opponents have scored 5+ 9 times. In their last 9 games, the Rays are 7-2, and they're plus 22 in the run differential department. They're scoring 5 runs a game to 2.55 for their opponents. In their last 9 games, the Rays have scored 5+ 5 times. Their opponents have only scored 5+ 1 time. Against the division this year, they're pretty dynamic, 17-6. But here's the thing: we said the Rays are 17-6 plus 23 run differential, whereas the Yankees are 14-14 in the division and they're plus 24 run differential. So even though Tampa Bay has a better record, 17-6 in divisional games, they're plus 23. The Yankees 14-14 and they're plus 24 road differential. So against the division this year, the Rays 17-6. They swept Boston. They were swept at Baltimore, and they swept everybody in the division this year. They swept Boston, they swept Baltimore, they swept Toronto, and they swept the Yankees already. They've scored 5+ 11 times in their 23 division games against their division opponents. So pretty good there, but you look at the run differential, not really that solid for them in that department. If we look at who's going to be on the mound for Tampa Bay, it's going to be Griffin Jacks. The Tampa Bay is 3-2 in his last 5 outings, but the run differential is even in those games. Whereas we said Schlittler, in his last 5 outings, the Yankees are 2-3 or 3-2, but they're plus 3 different run differential. Schlittler again 2.61 ERA in his last 5 outings. Griffin Jacks a 1.73 ERA, 1 WHIP, 1.38 home runs per 9 in his last 5 outings. Those wins did come against Kansas City twice, Washington, LA, and Miami, and the Rays have won 3 straight games that Griffin Jacks has been on the mound, and it was against KC twice that 2 of those wins came against. So I don't know if you really want to compare that lineup to the Yankees lineup. I think Yankees are going to be hungry here. I think, as we said, Cam Schlittler, Yankees 7-3 on the road, plus 22 run differential, and Schlittler again 0.80 ERA in 10 road starts this year with a 0.76 WHIP. If we look at Griffin Jacks again, the Rays are 3-2 in his last 5 outings, but the run differential is even. And on the year, the Rays are 7-5 when Griffin Jacks starts, and they're scoring 4.58 runs a game to 4.16 for their opponents. In home results for Griffin Jacks, the Rays are 5-1 when Jacks starts at home this year, and he has a 3.48 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. But he is giving up 2.25 home runs per 9 in his 6 home starts this year. He is 4-3 on 5 days rest, which will be here, and he has a 2.87 ERA, a 1.09 WHIP in 37 2/3 innings pitched. So he's looking pretty good, but I think the competition that he's been going against is something that you're going to want to keep an eye on here. I think the Yankees are going to come in fired up. They're coming off of a home loss, hitting the road. And I think Tampa Bay is coming off that road series against Houston and coming home where they've lost 2 in a row. So they're going to be hungry as well, but they've already swept the Yankees. I think the Yankees are going to be more focused here. So Wager Detective is going to call the Yankees in this game. I do think the game leans towards an under, the 8.5. And that's the call. Wager Detective calling the New York Yankees to beat the Tampa Bay Rays. Today is July 6, 2026. Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and Wager Detective loves all his fans. I'll talk to you soon.